Hey guys, the new season is upon us, and over on redmenplus.com we've got you covered in every single way. We've got the final word show, we've got Journo Insight with Neil Jones, we've got opposition previews, we've got the stat show with Chris Pajak, we've got the Club Legends show, and tons more. All of this content is available in video and podcast forms, so if you want even more amazing Liverpool content in your lives, head on over to redmenplus.com and sign up from as little as £5 a month. I promise you won't regret it. The content's amazing. You're going to have a ball. So go ahead on over to redmenplus.com and sign up now.
Hey everyone, hello, welcome. We are on the countdown to kick off Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates. I'm Paul Machin, Chloe Bloxham with a proper watch-along debut.
Yeah.
Excited?
Let's see how the game goes.
Yeah, it's more about the game than the occasion here. Yeah, absolutely. So you can interact with us. We're doing the team news reaction when it comes out. We're going to chat around some of the issues around Liverpool in the meantime. But yeah, don't forget to check back with us 10 minutes before kick-off. So 20 past 4, quarter past 4, we'll be live, ready and willing and waiting to talk through Liverpool versus Arsenal at the Emirates as well. Chloe, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm actually feeling, I don't want to say confident, but I'm in a good mood at the moment.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'll tell you why, and this could go one or two ways, of course, is it's a huge game of football, which means that there's loads riding on it, and I've talked about this with like my dad or whatever in the pub on Friday, and said there's a very sliding doors feel around this game where Arsenal are the team on the up, and there's a chance, right, that Liverpool have fucked it this season and we've gone from being the other team that challenges Man City to we're going to fall back into the pack for this season and who knows how long. I mean, Arsenal might now be the next club to go and sit up alongside City for a couple of seasons, and that might well be the case, but it feels like today is that match where we can actually keep Arsenal down a bit, still above us in the table. Yep. We can kind of go, no. That's all, everyone's getting a bit premature in this idea that Liverpool are transitioning and Liverpool are on the way down and people are getting a bit overexcited too soon around Arsenal and their title challenge. That's kind of what Liverpool are playing for here, which I hope really appeals to the mentality of our squad, who won't feel finished. They'll feel like they've got a point to prove.
Yeah, 100%. And I also think, midweek against Rangers, I thought we saw a really good Liverpool side. Yeah. There was a lot of positives to take from that, and I know Arsenal is a massive step up compared to Rangers, but you take the positives, and I hope the Reds did take the positives, because we haven't been well, we haven't been performing great, and you need every bit of confidence and positivity that you can get as a group in that moment, and I hope we go to the Emirates with a point to prove, but also with everyone who's putting us down, and even Liverpool fans, because we're out of the race that's for the top spot, we know that, but there is other things to be won in this season. I know no such thing,
but carry on. Carry on. Bullshit.
Okay. Well, we could potentially make an unbelievable comeback then. But there's other things to be won in the entire season. But to do that, you've got to be on good form, and you've got to, with how many games you've got, bounce into each game and take the rhythm with you. Yeah. So I feel like this is a good starting point. We can build on what we've done in midweek, and then we go to Rangers, and it's going to be hostile and everything. But it's still a side we should be able to beat. There's 3 on the bounce. Let's see where we can go from there. Obviously, City's the massive one next after that. But I just feel like we need to stamp ourselves on the season, because we haven't done that so far. No,
absolutely. People think Liverpool are a pushover. Yeah. We think they're a bit of a pushover at the moment, and we've talked about it a lot. Intensity, running, all the things that have characterised Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, even when they weren't great in the early days. You could always, I remember going away to Spurs in Klopp's first game, and like Lallana collapsing off the pitch into Jurgen's arms. Everyone ran their absolute bollocks off that day, and that's what's not been there for Liverpool. There's been a little bit of lacking in game intelligence. There's been a bit of lack of, skill and finesse at times, but the thing that's most been lacking is that desire, and that looked like it was back, and hopefully you can match that again, because you're going to need to. Arsenal are not themselves the walkovers that they've been in the past. It's not like in the 5 years ago where you could turn up at Arsenal at any game and go, just get in the faces because they hate it. Yeah. Troy Deeney said Arsenal, it's Arsenal, just they don't like it up them, just get involved, get in the faces. They're not that anymore, but yeah, they've got quality and they've got a bit more fight, but Liverpool should have more quality and should have more fight, because they're a team that, again, Liverpool have just got more. I've just got more to lose. You know, it's like, it's a bit like maybe with like the heavyweight boxer who's on the way down, but let's be honest, he doesn't want to get humbled by this kid on the way up. Now, he might have no choice. Arsenal might be so good that they do just absolutely take us to swords. And look, they're at home. They're the favourites for this game, which is mad, but it's earned. It's deserved favourites. But I'm hoping that thing of, like, I just hope Liverpool, it's like the Last Dance stuff, you know, the Michael Jordan meme of, like, you know, I took that personally. I want Liverpool to take it personally. I want them thinking, who are these challengers? We dick these normally, and I want them to carry on like that.
Yeah, and you know what? I always love an underdog. I loved when we were always the underdog, and we kind of built our way up to the point where we're not. But in that season where we obviously lose to Real Madrid in the Champions League final, sorry to bring it up, we are the underdog throughout that entire season. Yeah. And we wake everyone up and say, hello, we're back.
Yeah.
Look at us. And we're going to be an underdog today, and I hope we do the exact same thing where we say we're back, or we're at least getting to a point where we can reach that. Take note of us again, because let's be honest, we haven't been great. But if there's one place that you can start, go and prove a point by beating one of the best teams in form right now in the league, and then you've got to back it up against Manchester City, who is probably the best in Europe alongside us when we're actually performing well.
Yeah, well, City just feel like they're absolutely unkillable at the moment, and obviously Erling Haaland certainly added to all of that. Yeah, don't forget, if you're watching along with us right now, you can interact using the live chat. Great to see somebody regular face. It's been too long since I've done one of these. So yeah, welcome aboard, of course, to Steve Ryder. Says good afternoon, Redmen. Johnny Walker's Pajak on the loo again. Friday night curry. Now, Pajak is that would have been some curry if it was Friday night. If it was keeping him all the way out to Sunday afternoon.
I'm quite glad he's nowhere near me if that is the case.
If that is the case, no, it's his daughter's birthday, so he's off, and Steve's at the NFL watching the
Packers.
The Green Bay Packers do not give a shit.
By the way,
he looks dead happy.
Oh, I love a bit of NFL.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that Rodgers is a City fan, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I honestly don't know who you're talking about, nor do I care.
It's the quarterback for the Packers, the one that Steve loves.
The second part of the sentence there, Chloe.
Out the window.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
No, but Steve seems very happy. He's putting his little photos on Instagram of him and his fella, you know, there with the sunnies on and that kind of stuff. That, who I'm told is a current player for the Packers. Good on him.
Aaron Jones.
Yep. Yes. I recognise that name because he messaged me this morning. Good on him. So Steve and Chris are having a whale of a time. Chris is going to be elbow deep in birthday cake and stuff, and Steve's probably had a decent ale at Wembley. I don't even know when that kicks off, because again, who gives a shit? Liverpool playing Arsenal, the American egg chasing can keep until such time. Later on, we are about 2 minutes away from the team. One player we know won't be in there is Arthur Melo, 3 to 4 months out with an injury. He's gone for surgery, Chloe, and I don't know, I've seen a range of reactions to this. I just feel a bit sorry for him more than anything else. You know, he looked like he was really putting everything in to get himself up to speed, and I know people talk about injury-prone players, but like, injury-prone players they're out for a couple of weeks here and there and blah blah blah. If you pick up an injury that requires surgery that keeps you out for 3 to 4 months, that's a freakish occurrence, and I just feel sorry, and maybe that one of the reasons why we facilitated this change of formation as well.
Yeah, I want to know exactly what he's done in training, or what we've been doing in training for him to pick up this injury, because the lads played a couple of minutes Napoli, was it? And that's about it. That's all we've seen in a red shirt. And yeah, he's put the hard work in to be able to be in contention for anything. But as a footballer, that is what you're supposed to do. Like, it's your job, and you earn mega money to do something that everyone would love to do. It's only right that you do that. But fair play to him for putting the time and the effort in. It's unlucky for him, because who knows with the system that we've got. And, you know, I think Thiago's all right, but he was missing from training last night or Friday. You know, he could have maybe had a stamp and said, take a chance on me, Jurgen, and maybe he would have flourished under Jurgen Klopp. We just never know.
Yeah.
And now we're at least not going to know till February, and then who knows what you can have many setbacks when it's an injury that you need, you know, surgery on.
Yeah, right. We're going to send Chloe over to the board. We have got a couple of super chats because the team is now out. So Chloe, if you kindly make your way across to your debut, revealing the team. Protegidu has sent us in a super chat in the moment. Jake Paul tweets, "I lose all hope." Yeah, I mean, look, it's not his fault, but also I'm more happy. I'm more comfortable blaming Jake Paul for Liverpool's ails than I am like Jurgen Klopp, for example. Ben Pryor, the man, the myth, the legend, member for 29 months here on YouTube, says hoping LFC can cheer me up after the Rona got me. I will feel better soon. Ben, hopefully it's not taking you down too much. And Stuart Armstrong's been a member for 21 months. Says time to decide my mood for the rest of the week. Yes, isn't that just Liverpool Football Club in an absolute nutshell? Right, I'll get the team up on screen and we'll talk to it in a moment. Have you got it there, Cloud? Are you working your way through it?
Si, senor.
Sad. Right, okay. Okay, well, Sal, we'll tell you what, we'll go. Are you comfortable just going with us now while you lay it out? Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
So we'll head over to the board. Chloe Bloxham's got Liverpool starting 11.
I mean, yeah, we do. I mean, I'm very surprised. It is very, very bold, by the way.
She's gone for it.
Alisson Becker in goal, the holy goalie. We've got Trent at right back, somewhere around here. Let's see how he performs today. Matip and Virgil van Dijk partnering. Costas at left back. I'll move Trent a bit more there. Then, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm very, very glad to see he's back. We've got a Thiago that doesn't want to stay, so we're going to put Henderson below him and hope that magnet actually keeps him there. Oh, magic, that innit? Then we've got Diaz. We've also got Jota, which I'm going to slightly play him there. We've got Salah here. And the big boy Darwin, who I actually was quite impressed with him against Rangers. He looked quite good. He obviously didn't get a goal, but that is the starting lineup. No changes from Rangers. Quite big, to be honest, by Jurgen, because if this system doesn't work against Arsenal, you're in a bit of trouble. You'll play 3 in midfield, and it's also a case of they're much better than Rangers, and when they get at you, they will obviously be clinical in those situations. We've obviously got Kelleher, and I'm just going off all the people we've got at the bottom here. Kelleher, Gomez, Fabinho, Milner, Firmino, obviously as well. Surprised that he's not in, actually, to be honest. We've also got Elliott, Carvalho, and Phillips. So literally the exact same team as
Canate as well, yeah.
Canate's up here, yeah.
Cool.
The exact same team as Rangers, and my word, is that quite bold, to be perfectly honest.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, Chloe, I mean, just on your thought, because you've put it as more of a 4-2-3-1 than a 4-2-4. Obviously, Jurgen was keen to stress that it was 4-4-2 the other day. Let's have a look at it as a 4-4-2, and then we'll go from there. Because I think talk to me about your logic as well over the Jota move.
The reason I put Jota there was just because the areas he was picking the ball up against Rangers, he was a lot deeper than Núñez in those situations. We know Núñez likes to get behind, so maybe that's why I've done it. But it was just Jota was picking the ball in the spaces in between their midfield and defence. But obviously 4-4-2 means that both those strikers are interacting. Maybe Jota does come short in those moments, and it gives licence to Núñez still go on. And also 4-4-2, it looks a bit more stable when you talk about defensively, because obviously Diaz and Salah are further back up the pitch. But we all know, let's be honest, Diaz and Salah are going to be making these runs all the way down the wing, and maybe crossing it into Núñez. I don't know, I think Jota might be in and around the penalty area, because if Núñez doesn't win one and they head it down, you need this guy picking the ball up in and around the box. These two, you don't want to put, they were so good at winning the ball, turning it over, and getting us on our way against Rangers. The problem is, though, if one of these are too high up, and I've moved Thiago and he is going to stay, if one of them are too high up, you've got one midfield here, and that's it. And they've got 3 in midfield. They've obviously got the attack of Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, all these incredible players. You're looking at a bit of trouble if they are on the counter. So that's why I went Jota like that, just because I think from just because of the way he was playing, the pockets of space he was picking up. But who knows if it is a 4-4-2? I'm also sound with that as well. Maybe these two I didn't see too much against Rangers. The link-up play between them, I saw it a lot with Núñez and Salah that I quite enjoyed. The link-up wasn't there as much with Jota and Núñez, but if that is the case, maybe Jota's the one who, holds the ball up a little bit, Núñez in behind, even though Núñez is the bigger guy, that's what he does. So yeah, a very, very strong side from the Reds, and oh my God, let's see how it goes.
Absolutely right, Chloe. Make your way back on over here. Yeah, plenty of things to discuss around that, of course. And we sort of mentioned this, is that the one thing that Chloe talks about there with Diogo Jota is if you put it as a 4 up top, it's all well and good if it breaks down, all of a sudden that gap between your attack and your midfield is huge, and you make second balls is another thing we've been dreadful at this season. If you're telling Jota just to hover between the lines and go and make a pest of yourself and go and pick things up, and sometimes you'll find Salah will do a bit of that, sometimes you'll find Diaz will come across and do a little bit of that as well, but it's I mean, in fact, we got a super chat here which kind of sums it up really, really neatly from Howdy, it's David. It says, fortune favours the bold. And let's certainly hope so, because Liverpool have been very, very bold in that team selection, very bold. And
it's also, we are a very bold team. We are a very risk-reward type of team. Yeah. And you know, I was hoping that you'd do this because of how good we played, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, no, surely Fabinho comes in. What if we turn over the ball in a really dangerous place?
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know.
But it's a squad game, and Fabinho's been arse this season.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm not going to sit here and because a lot of people, what about Henderson? Look, Henderson hasn't been great, but he's also been injured. And he was good in midweek.
Yeah.
And the thing where Klopp often does, and I don't think this is a mark on Fabinho particularly, although I don't think it's going to do him any harm to sit it out for a game or two, is that I think if Arsenal hadn't played on Thursday night, I think we might have made 1 or 2 changes to this. I think we might have dropped Núñez out and we might have dropped Henderson out. But because Arsenal played later, and look, they did rotate heavily for that game, but they'll have had to go through the preparation. They'll have had to go and get themselves. I don't actually know if they travel. I'll get their team up from the weekend, from Thursday in a sec. But you're kind of complicit. Both teams played midweek football, so both teams are a bit more fatigued. And again, because you've now got options on the bench, having Fabinho to come into a game is no bad thing. It's very easy for us to change it to 4-3-3 if we want to, if we feel like we're losing that battle. And you know, you could do that in the first half. If it's not working for you, change it inside 45 minutes. That again, that'd be wild, but it's entirely
possible. Try not to go 2-0 down before we do change it. That's what I will say. You want the Arsenal lineup? Do you want to give it, or do you want me to?
You get this Arsenal team.
They even substituted, like they changed the goalkeeper. They've got Turner in, Tomiyasu,
This
Rob
was
Holding.
On Thursday.
Oh, this was Thursday, sorry, they've got Gabriel, Tierney, Vieira, Sambi Lokonga, Xhaka, Marquinhos, Nketiah and Martinelli. And the only two, Gabriel stays in, I think, probably Xhaka, Martinelli, and we'll get you the updated team to face Liverpool.
Well, let's go through the team now and see how it stacks up. So tonight, this afternoon, it's Ramsdale in goal. Yep. It's White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. It's Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus. So
4 people have stayed in that lineup.
And even in terms of like substitutes who came in, so Ben White came into the game, Saka came on, Odegaard came on, and Jesus were all used substitutes on Thursday. Not the level of exertion that Liverpool put themselves through. But also Liverpool have had extra days recuperation ahead of this as well. Yeah,
we also played a day, 2 days before, was it? So, hopefully, I mean, we've had an injury during that time, but hopefully the Reds are refreshed and ready to go again. We didn't really have to get out of a second gear against Rangers. They didn't really offer much against us. So hopefully we also got ourselves through that respectively. We didn't go all out. We needed a win. We got the 2 goals, but we didn't overexert ourselves. And I think that's our Núñez one's I think the fact that he's starting, because there was a lot of talk about Firmino starting this game.
I absolutely would have brought Firmino in for Núñez for this one.
And yet, whatever he did against Rangers, Jurgen Klopp liked. And let's be honest, first 45, he should have had 3 or 4 goals. Yep. He's got none. Let's hope he finds his scoring beats. I don't think you could have took Jota out because of his record against Arsenal. I mean, I'll just say it's records, but he's got a pretty good one.
And look at his goals. Jota is goals. And I think the feeling is Núñez will be goals, and I feel loads more confident that that's the case, having seen his performance against Rangers. You know, he's getting into the right areas, he's getting the shots off early, he's doing all the things that you expect to see from a goal scoring centre forward. And maybe that's half of the point in this, is like, you didn't quite get your goal, so I don't want you thinking that wasn't good enough what you did. Go out there and do that again. Go and try and replicate that performance, but this time stick it in the bottom corner instead of sticking it down the keeper's throat. And if you do that, then we're at the races. Couple more super chats. Adam Child sent £10 in. Great. If you want to send a comment in as well, mate, that'd be absolutely great. I don't know whether you hit send before you got to that point, but either way, that's lovely. Thank you so much, Adam. And we had another one as well, which I will just track down, from AJD. The left back situation for Arsenal is interesting. No Tierney or Zinchenko. This is Salah's time to shine. In fact, yeah, does that mean Gabriel's playing left back for them? I don't know enough about them, to be perfectly honest. Because Tommy
Asu is left back, Ben White's right back.
Wow. Okay. That's weird.
That's what I'm looking at anyway.
Yeah. Is that what SofaScore's saying?
It's what the lineup says when it's put on a board.
Okay.
Ben White playing right back, which I feel like he's played a couple of times. I've never seen Tommy Asu play left back though, so let's see how that is.
Well, hopefully that's a little moment of encouragement for Liverpool, and they can get something out of it, unless they're doing something wild and playing it as like a three at the back or something. But it is definitely one to keep an eye on. Randomly, my brother-in-law's an Arsenal fan. Don't put this on screen, by the way. But he says, should we just give Liverpool a 3-0 win and Jota his 2 goals and Salah his goal? Just save us the hurt of being hopeful for 90 minutes. Well, I like the fact that Arsenal fans are feeling a little bit down in the dumps about this.
I think he might be the only one next to be perfect.
They are. They seem very confident at the moment. So yeah.
And rightfully so. I can totally understand. I'd feel confident as well if I was in their position. But yeah, it's a bit mad. You're probably the first team. Even Rangers weren't that fussed about playing us in midweek. Yeah,
but again, Arsenal have got something to lose here, haven't they? You know, they got all the positivity of the of the North London derby last week, and so they're feeling on top. City are now, of course, top of the league. Arsenal need this to go back to the top of the league, but yeah, we'll see. Adam Childs is back. Welcome, Adam. He says, because Trent is so good at passing, could you not argue he could do it without going forward so much? He can still make the killer passes more quickly from a deep position. Yes, and that's actually what we saw against Rangers. We saw far less of Trent doing mad runs, like doing mad inverted into the number 9 and beyond kind of runs. You've got the 4 lads up there, and then what you do is you alternate between your left back and your right back, and occasionally maybe one of your midfielders to go and support that a little bit when you're looking to really overload. But it's right, we effectively trusted our passers to play a lot of the balls from deep, and then trust the ball to stick around. Let the attacking lads do the dirty work in that regard. So it's a good spot, Adam, and that's very much what I think we'll see from Trent. I don't see any reason why he needs to vacate his attacking position. We've got the attacking talent that we'll need to cause Arsenal problems, or at least he can be more selective in when he does it. Alan Carroll Moran with a €10. Thank you so much, mate. Tommy Asu at left back looks like he'd be asked to be sticking to Mo. Time for his season to take off. And I suppose, in fact, I saw someone tweeting that he's someone messaging that he's both-footed, Tommy Asu. I don't know how it says. In fact, the HFN is saying he's 2-footed but dominant right-footed. Is that a football manager?
There,
is that a football manager thing?
FIFA.
Have you got that a footy manager? But again, we saw this going back to the new camp in 2007, where Messi was very, very young at the time, but we played Alvaro Arbeloa at left back.
What year was this?
2007.
Oh, I was 5 or 6.
Yeah. I was in my prime. But we played a right-footed at left back because Messi was always cutting in onto his left foot, and Arbeloa absolutely shut him down all game long. Obviously, both of their careers took... Well, Arbeloa ends up at Real Madrid, so it's not like their careers took wildly different tangents, but obviously Messi got better than that.
One was
it's an interesting
the best to ever grace a football pitch.
And
the other not quite there.
Yeah, sad. So yeah, really, really interesting stuff, and whether that's an interesting point that they make there, do they just tell Tommy Asu to do a sort of man-marking job on Mo Salah? But once again, that's the beauty of having so many players to occupy their forward line. How Partey plays in this is going to be really, really interesting, because if Liverpool haven't got that third midfielder and they're playing with the midfield, it's like, what does he do? Where does he go? Does he push on? Does he go and get onto like Thiago's toes? Because if that's the case, that maybe opens up some space for Jota to pull deep and then start to pull the strings from higher up. But
also,
we can't know.
If someone's man-marking Salah, someone's going to be free somewhere, because if you've got 4 against the back 4, so there's likely that that Salah does some little trick that pulls another midfielder in, leaves space for someone else. And we saw that quite a lot with Salah and Mane. When they got doubled up on at times, it always left the other one open.
Yeah.
And hopefully they do something like that and it leaves the gaps for us, because if there's one thing I don't want is, you know, Luis Diaz to have a load of space if I'm an Arsenal fan, because he is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Someone saying here, quad bot in our Club Legend Discord, quite bold, Chloe, mistress of the understatements. And then also with Nunez, we can go 4-5-1, and we need a reducer on Odegaard in the first 5 minutes. I never realised that he was their captain.
Good player.
Which he's a really, really good player. But that's what these games are about. Henderson and Thiago, Van Dijk, Matip, you know, that strong, and obviously Salah as well, that really experienced core of Liverpool players. How will they judge this? Because you know, if James Milner was starting, you know exactly. He's putting one on. He's putting one on someone. Do you
remember PSG a couple of years ago? I think it's away from home, and for about 20 minutes of the football, I think they might have beat us away from home. Verratti, I think halfway through, Pep Landers just said someone literally touched tight to Verratti. He's the one who's causing all the problems. Yeah, sadly we didn't recognise it until we maybe like 1 or 2-0 down. But Verratti was the main person in that, and we then started to put a player on him once we'd realised. Hopefully it doesn't take us that long to realise. But Odegaard, absolutely brilliant player. And him being a captain when he's so young shows what a vocal point he is in that group. And I also want to point out Xhaka, because I think Xhaka's been reinformed. He's been brilliant, and I think it's because not just have they been playing him in a correct position, he was never a DM, but he's just got the licence to play.
I really hope that Granit Xhaka is what I think he is, and that is in the same brackets as like Moreno and Karius and Lovren. Good footballers, and you can get a good run out of them, but they've always got a mad moment in them, you know. And I'm really hoping this is that one where the players who've been performing above their level so far this season all of a sudden hit a wall, and that's on Liverpool to be that wall effectively. Right, Sam, brilliant. Are you excited about this game, more or less? Are you poo in your pants? Let us know in the comments. We'll be back with the watch along in about half an hour, just under half an hour's time, so make sure you check back. Do subscribe to the channel. We are tantalisingly close to 500,000 subscribers. We've got some big things lined up when we do, including a signed Ibrahima Konate shirt to give away. But yeah, it's been a long old journey. We've been through a number of studios to get us here, and a number of people in the studio as well. So yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, do click that subscribe button and get other people to do it as well. I don't really care whether they watch or not. I just want to get to that milestone. Michael Ramsey with one final super show. Why rubbish Elliott not starting? I don't understand what that means, but I also understand why Elliott isn't starting, because we're picking the same team from midweek, and I don't know where he'd play if that was the case. But
he's not playing in one of those pivot midfielders, that's for sure.
No, not yet. It'll come. Right, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back, as I say, in about 27 minutes time with the watch along. Up the Reds.
Thank you for watching that video. We all love Jurgen Klopp, don't we? So why don't you go over to redmenplus.com, sign up as a club captain or club legend, and you can get my reaction to our beloved manager, Jurgen Klopp. So yeah, head over there, sign up, and get the press conference reaction show. Nice one.